connecting with the divine. My beloved child, incline your heart and listen with deep attention. I have seen your silent days, those in which you felt forgotten by the world and even by me. But I want you to know that none of those days went unnoticed by my eyes. Even when the heavens seemed silent, I was watching you closely, collecting every tear that fell in silence, strengthening your spirit when everything in you felt fragile and weary. Please, don't miss this special video. It is a message from God to brighten your day. Click like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. We aim to reach 1,000 subscribers to spread even more faith and hope. Watch until the end. Click on the first comment and discover the secret ritual to attract money and prosperity. No pain was in vain. No cry was lost, everything was cared for with the zeal of my love. Child, if you could see with my eyes, you would understand that the moments when you felt abandoned were, in truth, the sacred womb where the purpose I wrote for you was being formed. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, declares the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. Nothing was accidental. Every silence, every wait, every apparent delay was part of my perfect plan to mature you, refine you, and position you exactly where my promise will be fulfilled. I do not arrive late, my son, I arrive at the exact moment when your heart is ready to receive what I have prepared. Trust me even when you don't understand, even when your emotions scream that it's over. I am your Father, your refuge, your shield, and your answer. What once seemed barren will become fruitful, and where there was pain, praise will rise. Hold on, for I am about to reveal what heaven has reserved just for you since the beginning. Comment, I trust God's timing, even when I don't understand the path. My beloved child, before you took your first breath, I had already written the deepest details of your story. Nothing you've lived through has surprised me, for every season of your journey was marked with divine precision. When you felt like you were standing still, I was actually positioning you. When you wept in silence, I was tenderly shaping your inner being. Now, the moment I established since the foundation of the world has come, a moment carrying the seal of my sovereignty. There is a sound echoing through eternity, and that sound carries your name. It is a calling that transcends heavens and earth, ignoring circumstances and opinions. What I have ordained for you cannot be delayed nor forgotten, for it is sealed in my eternal decree. The season of waiting is over. The season of fulfillment has come. Comment, God marked my time before I existed, and He is never late. Son, listen with your heart. For years, they fed you the belief that your time was always in the future. They conditioned your spirit to eternal waiting, as if your harvest were just a distant illusion. But today, I break that lie. I shatter every human pattern that kept you imprisoned in delayed hope. Now is the time of revelation, of fruitfulness, of answers. As it is written, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, and not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not delay. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. I do not play with promises, and I do not create expectations only to disappoint hearts. When I speak, I fulfill. When I promise, I perform. And now, that fulfillment is knocking at your door. Can you feel, child, what is moving around you? It's not confusion, it's direction. It's not the agitation of the flesh, it's heaven shifting. You've felt that different weight, that restlessness that doesn't come from fear, but from anticipation. It's your spirit responding to what your eyes haven't yet seen. Angels are on assignment. The gears of the invisible are turning in your favor. As the scripture says, "For he shall give his angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways." Psalm 91 verse 11. I am orchestrating connections, meetings, and openings. None of this is random. You are sensitive, and that's why you perceive before the natural what has already been released in the spiritual. Heaven is responding to your faith. Comment, "What I feel is not anxiety, it's the sound of heaven answering my faith." Now, pay attention. I will show you that nothing in your journey was in vain. Every tear you shed, every silent night, and every season without answers was under my loving supervision. You were not forgotten, you were being prepared. And now, the time of revelation has arrived. What was hidden will become visible. Many will look at you and see that what is happening is not the result of human effort, but of the supernatural touch of my Spirit. There will be recognition, not for vanity, but as a testimony. You will carry the mark of divine intervention. My child, everything is beginning to align. Your soul always knew this day would come. Comment, God does not act by chance, He acts with eternal purpose. How many times have you looked to the sky and whispered, "Father, when will it be my turn?" And time seemed not to hear you. Voices around you told you to wait, to endure, to keep going. And you obeyed with faithfulness. But now, with the authority of my love, I tell you, your turn has come. Do not confuse this moment with any other. This is the season when what was held back will be released. The process was not in vain, it shaped you. And now, because you were faithful in silence, I will reward you in the light. Do not be alarmed when everything begins to happen quickly, it is I restoring the time you thought you had lost. The countdown is over. Heaven's clock has pointed to the exact hour of your activation. The words once spoken over you and thought to be forgotten are now being fulfilled. The promises you once doubted are manifesting. I am the God who turns deserts into rivers and valleys into gateways. Right now, I am breaking patterns of stagnation that tried to bind you for years. No excuse from the past will stop you from living the new that I have prepared. Invisible chains are being undone by the authority of my word. And where there was silence, there will now be sounds of rejoicing. You are called for movement, for fullness, for fulfillment. Did you know there is an effective method to attract more financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-rooted beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It's something that deeply impacted my life, and we'd like to invite you to discover this special practice. When we trust that God wants to move in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you'd like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to discover our product. The link is in the first comment so you can explore how this technique might help you on your journey as well. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. And even though you may have doubted, I never took back what I reserved for you. Your inheritance is intact. Your promise is alive. And now, it is being activated. The doors that once would not open will now open with ease. The right encounters will find you effortlessly. The connections that once seemed impossible will come naturally, because I myself have prepared them. Every detail of your story, even the most painful ones, will now gain purpose through my revelation. You are mine, and what I wrote about you is being read by heaven and earth at the same time. My child, Visualize with me the great heavenly clock. Every turn of its hand touches eternity and releases something new upon the earth. And now, one of those touches has been appointed for you. It is a time of restitution, renewal, and revelation. This moment not only removes what held you back but restores what was stolen from you. Harsh words that once pierced your soul are now being dissolved by the sweetness of my Spirit. The soil of your heart, which once seemed dry, is now receiving living water. The seeds you planted in faith, without applause or recognition, are now sprouting. And you shall reap in abundance, not by human calculation, but by my eternal design. Comment: God's clock is never late, He is surprising me with precision. I am dismantling every invisible barrier that kept you in cycles. Every no you heard before is now becoming a yes from heaven. Not because you shouted loudly, but because I spoke with authority. When I speak, even the impossible yields. I'm calling you to a new level of vision, favor, and authority, a level where doors don't just open, they stay open. And what was delayed for years will now manifest in days. You are a bearer of a divine inheritance. Everything I prepared for you, and only for you, is moving in your direction. Now, rise up with courage. The journey is no longer beginning, it is being fulfilled. My child, listen closely, this is not just another moment of inspiration or comfort. This is not another word meant to keep you holding on. This is the time when what I declared begins to unfold. This is the moment when the sound that comes from my presence doesn't just awaken your soul, it activates everything I have prepared for you. This is not motivation. This is not hype. This is divine release. The sound now resonating in your spirit has the power to alter your entire reality. It doesn't just move your heart, it moves the very atmosphere around you. Something supernatural is happening, and if you can perceive it, it's because you were chosen to walk in it. The doors that were locked are now receiving the keys. The resources stored in my heavenly abundance, marked with your name, are now being released. This is not rehearsal. This is your divine summons. You have been called, activated, and sent forth. But there is something you must understand, my beloved child. Not everyone hears this sound. It is not broadcast in common frequencies. It vibrates in the realm of the Spirit and only reaches the hearts that were trained in silence, in perseverance, in stillness. Only those who remain through the long waiting can recognize this sound. Only those who endured the unseen battles can respond. And if something is stirring within you now, a warmth, a certainty, a deep emotion you cannot explain, then this is no coincidence. Your spirit is recognizing the sound of your Father. It is my voice calling you, not with human words, but with eternal language. Every tear you cried was counted. Every silent night was part of my careful preparation. Every time you felt forgotten, I was watching, shaping, strengthening. You are ready. And because you are ready, I am moving you forward. Comment: I have been prepared by God for this divine moment. This is the sound of your waiting season ending. It is the sound of your season of lack giving way to a season of fullness. It is heaven's voice declaring, no more delay, no more struggle. Your time of fulfillment begins now. And you may ask, what truly changes after this call? Everything changes. Because when I declare your waiting is over, time itself begins to serve you. The invisible begins to cooperate. The machinery of heaven turns in your favor. When I, the Lord, say enough to everything that blocked you, no force, no person, no system can stand against it. Divine patience is never passive, it is strategic. and now, it has reached its limit. You may not have noticed, but at a specific moment, I rose from my throne. A holy movement, ancient and unstoppable, was released. A sound you cannot hear with ears but only with your spirit was released directly from my presence. It was not against you, it was for you. Not to rebuke you, but to free you. Child, take this truth to heart. There has been opposition against your life. There have been spiritual forces assigned to keep you bound, limited, and weary. These weren't random events. There are unseen entities that feed on your frustration, that strive to extend your sorrow, that seek to delay your purpose. But today, I tell you this, I saw every attempt. I discerned every trap. And I decided to intervene. When the one who created all things steps directly into your circumstance, the rules change. The barriers fall. The command I give does not return void. And the command has already gone forth, be released. Move forward. Lie fully. This is no longer a promise waiting in the distance. This is divine justice in motion. The word I sent did not only speak to you, it spoke to everything that has tried to stop you. The resistance heard it. The delay heard it. And now, everything is shifting. This is my decree, nothing will stop you now. Comment, God's word is being fulfilled in my life right now. You must realize that the trials you have faced, financially, emotionally, relationally, physically, were not mere coincidences or failures on your part. They were resistance. But even resistance has limits. And by the eternal decrees I established, that limit has now been reached. Everything that belonged to you and was held back is now being accelerated. The time of restoration has arrived. But here is what's even more powerful, this release is not just about you. It touches your story, your lineage, your family. The prayers prayed by your ancestors are being answered in this moment. The seeds they sowed in tears and faith are now breaking open in your generation. The sacrifices they made in silence, I saw them. I honored them. And now, I fulfill them. I am restoring your family's path. Not just so you can survive, but so your entire household will thrive. The generational shift has begun. And now, take a deep breath, because what you're feeling inside isn't fear, it's confirmation. That weight on your chest, that stirring in your hands, that tear falling without warning, this is your spirit saying, something new has begun. The old pattern no longer applies. The cycle of pain is broken. The new season has started. A lightness is coming. A favor you've never known is approaching. Even though your mind may still be trying to catch up, your heart has already recognized it. You are no longer who you were before reading this. Something within you has been activated, repositioned, and transformed. What lies ahead is not just a better future. It is the complete fulfillment of everything I promised, in perfect measure, at the exact time, and with the glory that only I can give. My precious child, listen closely, for this is not just another message, this is a divine awakening. The reason you were formed is now revealing itself with new clarity. The paths that once seemed uncertain are converging, and what was once unclear is being illuminated. This is the time when the veil between the earthly and the eternal is being torn open for you. But there is something essential you must understand about my timing. When I decide to move, I do not do so in slow or timid steps. I do not reveal answers gradually, as if you still need to be tested. When I declare that the time has come, everything changes at once. My action does not follow natural rhythms because I carry the power to alter reality instantly. What I am about to release in your life will not come in small increments but like a river bursting through a dam. The grace that will pour over you will come like a sudden cloud in a previously clear sky. The doors that were locked by force will be opened with authority. The bonds that were broken will be restored with even greater strength. Everything that was taken from you will be returned with increase. This is the decisive moment, not of pain, but of personal involvement by my Spirit. Just as I moved with power in ancient times, I will move now. The limits that surrounded you will shatter. Paths will appear where walls once stood. Freedom will come like thunder silencing the voices of fear. Comment, I trust in God's love, He is my refuge. But there is something even deeper I want to reveal to you, and it will change how you see your entire story. Child, have you ever wondered why the battles began before you understood your purpose? Have you ever reflected on why pain found you before favor? The enemy did not wait for you to grow up or reach spiritual maturity. He attacked you while you were still innocent, still believing life was safe. And why? Because before your birth, a powerful purpose was already sealed over you. You were marked with a mission that echoed in heaven, and this attracted resistance. The war you have faced from the start was not against who you were then, but against who you were destined to become. I saw what was coming, and the realm of darkness saw it too. Before your first cry, your name was already written in my eternal book. And that name carries promises, spiritual covenants, provisions reserved before the foundation of the world. These are not merely blessings, they are inheritances that belong to you by right, by spiritual lineage and heavenly decree. But because of this, the war intensified. They saw what was written about you and were terrified. They observed the reach your life would have, and they trembled. That is why the attacks were so fierce in your early years. That is why you faced rejection before you understood what belonging meant. Comment, my future is in God's hands, and nothing can stop what He has decreed. You need to see this with spiritual eyes. Your life is a battlefield because it carries a calling that terrifies hell itself. Your story is not random. The suffering you endured was not due to chance or bad luck. It was a sign of the importance of your existence. The enemy does not waste energy on those who pose no threat. He focuses his fury on those born with something special. And you, child, were born with a light even you could not comprehend. Your very soul carried an eternal sound that the heavens recognized and the darkness wanted to silence. Your sensitivity, your silent questions, your deep feelings, all these were marks of one called to touch invisible dimensions. Every tear you shed was not ignored. Every night you felt different from others was not neglect, it was spiritual resistance. And where there is resistance, there is value. If you had no importance, there would be no opposition. The level of your battle is a reflection of the greatness of your calling. Heaven chose you, and hell reacted. Comment, even in my darkest days, God was preparing my victory. My love for you is not based on performance, child. It is rooted in destiny. I loved you before you breathed. I do not look at you based on what you have done or failed to do. I see the fullness of who you are, from the moment you were conceived in my heart to the day you will fully step into the mission designed for you. I know the end from the beginning. Therefore, I never gave up on you in the days when you wanted to give up on everything. I knew the pains were temporary, but the glory would be eternal. Those who tried to stop you only saw your small victories and thought they could disrupt your journey. But little did they know that what I put inside you cannot be destroyed. Your connections were broken? I will restore them myself. Your steps were blocked? I will open paths even in the midst of the impossible. You felt forgotten? I held you in my arms all along. This is the time of restoration, but also of revelation. Because now you will see clearly that all the past pain was building a spiritual fortress within you. Your faith was refined by fire, and it will now become your weapon. Comment: God has not abandoned me, and that is enough for me to continue. There is something about you that even you do not fully understand yet, but the spiritual realm has recognized for a long time. You carry a generational anointing. You are connected to promises made by ancestors who cried out for liberation, change, and victory, and now those promises converge in you. Heaven waits for you to rise. The heavens are moving around you. Angels are positioned. The time of waiting is over. The season of favor has arrived. What was once resisted will now be released. What was delayed will now accelerate. You will be surprised by how things begin to align, not because you forced them, but because the exact time has come. Those who doubted you will see that you were carried by something not of your own making, but by me. And those who mocked your process will not understand your rise. It is not about fame. It is about function. You have a spiritual purpose that will now be activated. The time when you merely survived is over. It is time to live in abundance. Comment: I am ready to live what God has always prepared for me. Want you to keep this sealed in your heart: nothing has been in vain. Not the tears, not the abandonment, not the silence, not the despair. Everything will be used. Everything will be transformed. Everything will be reversed. I am the God who rewrites stories and turns wounds into marks of glory. I am the Father who honors his children with faithfulness even when they do not understand the way. And now, child, I call you to walk with me without fear. Trust even when you cannot see. Move forward even when you do not understand everything. Because the path that begins now does not depend on your strength but on my promise. And I have never failed. Your story will be a living testimony that those who wait on me are never ashamed. Those who trust in me are never confused. I lift you up. I send you forth. I sustain you. Because you are mine, and upon you rests my favor. Comment: I belong to God, and with him all will be restored. My beloved child, before anything else, I knew there would be opposing forces trying to stop the fulfillment of the purpose I have for you. They acted with cunning because they understood that your true understanding of who you are in me would completely dismantle their influence over the place I intended for you to occupy. But know this, my beloved, while those forces worked to bring you down, I was quietly preparing your victory. Every path that seemed to close before your eyes, every door that appeared locked, was actually my shield and protection. I kept you away from what would have delayed your progress, and even the good things that came slowly were part of my perfect plan to ensure you were ready to receive what I was preparing. The pain that was meant to crush you, I turned into strength so you could rise even stronger. The blows designed to weaken your spirit, I used to fortify you. The loneliness that sought to isolate you was, in truth, the space where I drew you closer to myself, preparing you for the abundant season that is coming. You survived what was designed to destroy you, and that is why you stand firm today, even after so many attacks. You still trust, even after so many betrayals. This is no coincidence, child. This is my watchful care, my love protecting what belongs to you, revealing what is inside you even before you knew. Those who conspired against you felt threatened by the power within you, and that is why they tried to stop you. Comment: I am strong because God strengthens me even in hardship. Know this, darkness fears your awakening because they know that when you fully arise, a powerful chain reaction will be unleashed. Your gifts, your resources, your story will serve my greater purpose. Your presence will be a beacon that inspires others to rise and see the truth that has been hidden for so long. The lies they used to keep my people defeated will be exposed through your journey. That is why they fought to hold you back, why resistance grew stronger every time you neared freedom, and why uncertainty seemed most intense just before clarity arrived. But now, what they feared most is coming true. You are awakening, remembering, and claiming what is rightfully yours. Comment, my faith is greater than any fear, and God leads me to freedom. This intense period of conflict has a reason, my child. Everything shifted in one moment, when you felt I was distant, when you felt alone and forgotten. But what if I told you that in that very moment when you felt invisible, I was fully focused on elevating you? That small decision you made to obey my quiet voice, even if you have forgotten it, was the key that opened the door to the abundance now coming your way. Everything arriving now began with an action so small it seemed insignificant. You may have forgotten it, but I never forget. Now, I want you to remember not your grand victories or joyful moments, but those quiet times when you chose to trust even without seeing, even when weary and hurting. Comment, even in small decisions, God works powerfully for me. Remember when you followed my leading, even when everything inside you screamed to give up? When, in the midst of pain and exhaustion, you forgave those who hurt you, spoke kindly of those who rejected you, and helped others without expecting anything in return. You thought those moments were just between us, that they would vanish in time and not matter. But I was watching. Every silent act of faith and loyalty was recorded in the spiritual realm. I don't just see what is hidden, I act in the unseen, arranging and preparing behind the scenes. It was in that quiet choice, when no one was watching, that my special attention fixed itself on you. That's when transformation began. But here is something that might surprise you even more, my child. While you remained faithful in obscurity, another person, someone with resources and power to change your situation, was also being touched by your devotion. The visible and invisible worlds are more connected than you realize. When you follow my voice, it sends out an influence beyond what your eyes can see, reaching people and places far away. That act of generosity, even when it cost you greatly, sent ripples of change in the unseen. That true surrender, that silent letting go, began moving the gears of your transformation. Trust that I am working tirelessly so you will receive all I have promised you. Therefore, my beloved child, do not let doubt or discouragement pull you away from the path. The battles you face now are only the prelude to the great victory already assured in heaven. The harvest time is coming, and I, your eternal Father, am preparing everything for you to enter the fullness of what has been destined for you. Stand firm, keep trusting me even when the storm feels too strong. Remember that I never abandoned you, even when you felt far away from me. Everything that happened, everything you endured, was to prepare you for the glory now arising. Believe, my child, because I have already won for you. My beloved, in the most difficult hours, when it seemed the world was against you, when invisible forces tried to influence and divert your steps, I want you to know that I was by your side, watching every moment. That moment when you chose to trust me instead of giving in to fear was the beginning of a deep and invisible, yet powerful transformation. It was no accident or coincidence, but a decision that opened a sequence of events I prepared that would connect you with people and situations specifically arranged to radically transform your life. These people, endowed with resources, skills, and strategic positions, were not placed in your path by chance. I positioned them at the right moment, at the exact time, to act as instruments of my perfect plan for you. Trust that everything happening around you is under my divine order, even when you do not see or understand. Often, that inexplicable urge to help someone, to extend your hand to a stranger, is not just a human impulse, it is my response to your silent faith, your constant effort, your perseverance even when no one else stood by your side. Comment, even when no one sees, God is preparing the best for me. Your steps taken toward faith are not mere acts of empty hope, they cause a real impact, both in the spiritual world and in visible reality. I am witness to your choices made in silence, to those prayers uttered when the pain seemed overwhelming and no one accompanied you. I saw every time you preferred to trust rather than give up, even when discouragement tried to dominate you. I understand that it may feel strange to realize that people around you sometimes feel the desire to support you without fully understanding why. That is my providence acting, promoting encounters and opportunities that will forever change your course. Each time you chose to turn to me instead of surrendering to fear, you planted a seed of victory. I gathered your secret tears, your silent praise, your surrender without witnesses, and all of this was like a treasure placed in my hands, kept for the perfect moment, which has now arrived. Comment, my faith, even when hidden, is seen and valued by God. I know that sometimes the path seemed closed, that doors were shut before you, and some important people withdrew, leaving a feeling of abandonment and loneliness. But I ask you to reflect with me, could these closures and departures actually have been signs of my guidance? I was redirecting your steps, opening space for something greater and more magnificent than you could imagine. The dissatisfaction and discomfort you feel are not your faults, nor punishments, but a call from me to leave the ordinary behind, to move toward a life that goes far beyond what you know today. I am working within you, shaping your spirit, your emotions, your relationships, and your circumstances so that you not only survive but prosper in fullness. Do not interpret your tiredness as a sign of weakness but as a call from your soul to seek something greater. The connections that drain your energy, the environments that once were comfortable but now feel strange, are alerts for you to recognize what no longer serves your greater purpose. Your soul is preparing for a new environment, a place where you will be nurtured and able to flourish fully. I will lead you to this place where a time of abundance will begin to manifest, a time I have already begun to prepare for you. This process is not random, it is guided by my loving hand, just as I have led many people and stories from ancient times to their perfect destinies. Have courage to trust in what your physical eyes cannot yet see. The movement I feel within you is my secret action, the rearranging of the pieces of your destiny so that everything fits perfectly. Your faithfulness in silent moments, your constant choice of faith, even without immediate evidence, has given me the authority to operate this great change. Now, people and situations are beginning to move in your favor, opening doors and bringing unexpected opportunities, concrete changes that will transform your reality. You are not alone, nor have you been abandoned. You are being prepared for a new cycle of your life, a cycle full of victories, progress, and growth. Keep your heart steady and your mind focused, for I am ahead of it all, opening paths, breaking barriers, guiding your steps with love and care. Know that all this preparation, every moment of waiting, and every silent choice was because I love you deeply and have an excellent plan for your life. No effort of yours has gone unnoticed, and every tear, every prayer made in secret, was a firm brick in building your future. Believe that the transformation you feel is near, that the impossible is becoming possible. What was once invisible to human eyes will now begin to be revealed. You are being lifted to a place where prosperity, peace, and joy will be your new normal. I love you with all my heart and will always be with you, preparing blessings that exceed all you can ask or imagine. Surrender yourself to me with confidence, for the best is yet to come. Comment, my heart rests in God's infinite love, who never abandons me. You may not fully understand now, but every movement that seems chaotic in your life is, in fact, being guided with purpose. You are not being scattered by chance, you are being placed with deliberate and perfect design. Those who opposed you, who tried to block your path with hardships, cut roots, and unpleasant circumstances, believed they would suffocate you, make you give up. Yet, what was intended to harm you, I have transformed for your benefit. I am the one who changes the course, who makes the impossible possible at the right time. Every barrier, every struggle, every door that closed was not punishment, but protection and preparation. While you faced obstacles, I was preparing your path ahead, creating invisible conditions for your victory. Those places that seemed to reject you were not to push you away, but to protect you from accepting less than the best I have for you. Every opportunity that did not bloom, every apparent failure, was a divine closing of small doors so that a much greater door could be opened. This is proof that I am tirelessly working for your good, even when everything seems against you. The emptiness you feel is not confusion, but confirmation of imminent change. Your soul already senses what your mind cannot yet decipher. Your inner being is preparing for transformation even before the external circumstances change. And know that this transition is not just about the final destination, but about the transformation of the person you are becoming along the way. Every step of the journey is shaping you, freeing you from the chains that held you captive for so long. Where you were before, you might have been known for your struggles, for not reaching what you desired, for being enough but unnoticed as extraordinary. But in this new place I am bringing you, you will be seen for your true worth, for the potential I have engraved within your spirit. You will be recognized as one who carries my provision, one who brings progress, who walks with my incomparable grace. The places you left behind limited your vision, making you accept little, settling for fragments. But the new environment will expand your capacity to receive, to seek great things, to fully live everything I have prepared for you. But for this, my child, you must truly prepare yourself. Prepare not only your home but your mind and heart for what is to come. Release past pains, dreams that faded, and beliefs that limited you. Make space for what I have reserved for you, new paths, new opportunities, new versions of yourself you haven't yet imagined. You need to let go of what once was and is no more. Stop insisting on doors that have closed. I am leading you to something far greater than you ever dreamed. Your inner compass has already been updated and points to a destiny of abundance, influence, and authority. And this change is more than just changing place, it is a deep transformation that will awaken in you gifts and talents that were waiting for the right moment to bloom. What you sought in external things, what you found hard to achieve, has always been within you. The true wealth you seek is not in what you possess but in the essence of who you are and the faith you have in me. Prepare yourself for a revelation that will change how you understand prosperity, because what I offer is an abundant life that begins within at the core of your being. Say, I am rich in faith and essence, my true prosperity is within me. I know you have felt misunderstood, alone in the crowd, unable to express what your soul felt and others could not see. You doubted yourself for not being able to translate into words what your heart knew. But now see, you have become stronger, more secure, more aligned with the purpose I placed within you. That sensitivity you once tried to hide is now the clear sign of your calling. You perceive things others do not, feel what they avoid feeling, notice the subtleties of the world around you. I gave this to you on purpose. This sensitivity, though it brought pain, was the instrument I used to prepare you for your mission. Do not hide your tears, do not suppress your deep feelings. They need no explanation because they are part of the burden I knew you could bear. Your capacity to feel intensely is proof of the strength you possess. When others turn away, you remain firm. When others retreat, you stand your ground. You carry the burdens and worries even when no one else can see them. Even when no one notices, I am there, sustaining you. When tears fall silently, I collect them, strengthening your spirit. You absorb burdens that seem invisible to human eyes, but I see and honor them. Your ability to remain steadfast, even under the weight of difficulties, is a testimony of my presence within you. I gave you this mission because I know you are capable. And amidst the storms, I am your safe refuge, your unshakable harbor. Do not fear loneliness, for I am inside you, guiding every step, illuminating the path when everything seems dark. You are more than the circumstances you face, you are the reflection of my strength and eternal love. Know that this path of transformation is for you to accomplish what you never imagined possible. I am preparing you to go beyond the limits that once held you back, to enter territories that once seemed unreachable. Trust the process, even when it is difficult. The pain of transition will be replaced by the joy of the new life I have for you. Have faith in divine timing, for everything that happens is for your growth and the manifestation of your true identity. I created you with purpose, and the journey you are living now is the preparation for it to be fulfilled in fullness. Stand firm, for great things are coming, far beyond what your eyes have seen. I am with you, today and always. There are moments in your life when everything seems out of control, when every situation feels like an unending storm, and it seems as if the world is against you. But know this, nothing you have faced was meant to hurt you. Every challenge, every burden you carried, was not to destroy you but to prepare you. That fire you once tried to run from is now the source of your deepest prayers. The confusion that once weighed heavy on your heart is now the power behind your intercession for others. You are no longer the person who suffered. You are the one who faces hardship with a strength that is not your own but comes from me. You are no longer weighed down, you are ready. This transformation is not a mistake or too much to bear. It is what makes you unique, what I see in you. And even though others have misunderstood you, opposed your path, or tried to bring you down, you remain firm, steady on your journey. Your strength is not loud or showy. It is a quiet, powerful force that stands firm even when the world tries to shake you. There are decisions made that can never be undone, and no adversity can reach you now. Those who opposed you tried again and again to distract you with obstacles, old wounds, and past habits, but I have hidden you and protected you. What once reached you now returns to its sender. What once triggered you no longer touches you. This protection is not because you fled from hardship but because I gave you a new shield, one built on surrender, purified by trials, and marked by my presence. While you remained silent, a strong response echoed in the unseen. While you held back your words, a firm defense was established. While you brought your pain to me in prayer, I moved on your behalf. Now darkness cannot find you. The light that once exposed you and invited attacks has changed. You have risen to a higher place, and from there, your enemy cannot locate you. There is deep strength in being hidden with me. This does not mean difficulties have vanished, but that they no longer know where you stand. Your way of speaking with me has changed, elevated. You see truth with clarity, and your path is safely hidden within my presence. You are not just protected, you are out of reach of old troubles. That is why what once made you feel safe no longer satisfies you. The paths you once walked are now closed. It is not merely that you walked away, they simply cannot reach you anymore. I have brought you to a place where only closeness to me allows anything to enter. The battles you once fought with your own strength now dissolve quietly in the unseen realm. The things that used to provoke intense reactions lose their power when you remain peaceful. Attacks may be sent but are stopped before they ever reach you. This is what it means to belong to me. You are standing in a new way, not physically, but in spirit. The old self who worried, who was bothered, who reacted quickly no longer lives here. In its place stands one who sees clearly, understands deeply, and moves with the calm control that comes from me. Yes, you still witness hardships and confusion, but they no longer affect you the way they once did. This is how you know you have risen higher, not because struggles disappeared, but because you now gain victory without needing to fight them yourself. Your quiet presence carries more weight than any defense you could offer. You don't need to explain why you are the way you are. You simply show up, and the world around you shifts. You have become a quiet strength that brings change, a place where my presence dwells. And those who oppose you have no answer for this. Let them be confused, let them try to figure you out, they won't succeed. Where I am leading you, even the way there is hidden. This new way of being is not noisy or chaotic, it is about knowing your path, acting with precision, moving with clear intention, and finding rest in stillness. I am teaching you how to lead in the unseen world. It is no longer about reacting quickly, rushing, or worrying. It is about certainty, stability, and speaking truth from me. You are becoming exactly who your enemy feared you would be, the one who cannot be shaken, found, or disturbed. You have moved beyond the reach of past struggles. Now, your purpose is to live in this place and remain there. This means you need to explain yourself less and be more present. You need to protect yourself less and see more clearly. No more shrinking yourself to fit into places you have outgrown. No more asking for acceptance from those who are not meant to walk this path with you. Your place is by my side, where nothing can touch you, where you are truly free. There comes a moment in life when the noise of the world begins to fade, and within that silence, a profound peace settles deep in your spirit. You feel it as a quiet power rising from within, something unshakable, something forged through trials and fires that once threatened to consume you. This is not a mere calm born of surrender but a strength birthed from endurance, shaped by every hardship you faced with unwavering faith. The chaos no longer touches you because you have been hidden in a place of purpose, a sanctuary created for you long before you understood your journey. That quiet presence, that deeper peace you may barely recognize, is your true self emerging, no longer burdened by the weight of battles that were never yours to carry. You have transformed into someone new, someone marked by resilience and shielded by love. Those who search for the version of you they once knew will be met only with absence, because that person has passed away, replaced by a soul who moves steadily forward, empowered by divine strength. The obstacles that once blocked your path, every delay, every closed door, every moment of uncertainty, have finally reached their end. What once seemed immovable is now shifting beneath your feet. What felt unreachable is now within your grasp. This is no coincidence or fleeting stroke of luck, it is a deliberate opening of gates designed for you alone. The timing has been precise, even if it was hidden from your sight. There were moments when you didn't have the words to express your needs, when you felt held back, not because you were unready, but because the world around you wasn't yet aligned with the destiny prepared for you. These pauses were not punishments or failures, they were acts of protection, allowing the foundation beneath you to strengthen quietly, invisibly, and powerfully. Now that resistance has lifted, and the way forward stands open wide, the heavy cloak of confusion and frustration is removed, replaced by a clarity that speaks directly to your heart. This is your season of breakthrough, a turning point where your patience and faith become the catalysts for all that you have longed for. Even now, the world may not announce your progress with fanfare or dramatic signs. The changes unfolding in your life are subtle, an invitation whispered in the wind, a quiet step in the right direction, a gentle nudge toward what you were made to embrace. The movement you sense may feel small, almost imperceptible to others, but it is the first ripple of a mighty wave destined to carry you to new heights. This is not a time to rush or to prove yourself to anyone. The need to chase or force outcomes has passed. Instead, you are learning to receive, to open your hands and accept what has been lovingly prepared for you. The blessings arriving now come wrapped in favor and grace, and they will only grow if you tend to them with care and wisdom. You are no longer grasping for scraps, you are holding what belongs to you by divine right, entrusted to your stewardship. This moment is an invitation to walk forward gently but confidently, knowing you are held every step of the way. The question before you now is how you will respond to this open door. Will you honor the patience and endurance it took to reach this place? Will you care for these new opportunities with the same diligence and integrity you showed during the hard times? The journey forward is not a sprint but a steady flow, a continuous unfolding of purpose and provision. This flow requires clarity of vision, honesty with yourself, and reliability in your actions. It calls for a heart anchored in truth and a spirit willing to embrace growth. Remember, the waiting was never wasted time. It was the forging of a strength so deep that it can hold the fullness of what is coming. You have been made capable of handling more, not just for your own sake, but so you can steward these blessings in a way that multiplies them. This is the beginning of a new chapter where readiness meets opportunity, and the two come together to birth transformation. Do not be surprised if what you have long prayed for appears suddenly and in abundance. When the unseen forces holding back your breakthrough finally dissolve, life ceases to drip in slow increments and instead flows in rivers of abundance and favor. But this time, you are not caught off guard or overwhelmed by the rush. The person you are now has learned to move with steadiness and purpose. You no longer act out of desperation or fear of missing out. Your steps are measured, guided by a quiet wisdom that knows the difference between rushing ahead and walking faithfully. You are no longer entangled in old patterns that once held you captive. The chains of past doubts and anxieties have been broken, and in their place stands a steadfastness that will not waver. Your spirit is aligned with a deeper rhythm, one that moves in harmony with the unfolding plan laid out just for you. The strength within you is a testament to every moment you chose to wait rather than give up, to trust rather than fear, to believe rather than despair. It is proof that even when no one was watching, you remained true true to your purpose, true to the divine hand shaping your path. This strength is not just for surviving but for thriving, for stepping into all that you were created to be. The walls that once confined you have fallen, and you are free to walk boldly into your future. Embrace this freedom with gratitude and humility, knowing it is the result of a love that never left you, a power that never failed you. You are no longer moving forward alone, you are carried by a force far greater than yourself. This is your time, not just to live but to flourish, not just to exist but to shine. Walk in this truth, and let nothing hold you back. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.